don't have any, yeah, I don't have any explicit topics today. I know that Oren's out and Satananda's out. I've got 3 or 4 topics cooking, including the whatever proposal Alad is going to make, which he hasn't, put forward yet. We have a background thread going on software maintenance. We have a background thread going on strategy, and maybe we need a working meeting to consolidate the strategy. I don't want to do that on a recorded TSC call, but maybe we could have a working meeting and try to consolidate the strategy into a single approved view, and then review it on the recorded call. We've got lab things that are actually coming together. Like I said last week, access is up. People could start trying things. Does anyone have any agenda topic? I didn't see anyone propose any agenda topics. But does anyone have any agenda topics or questions or suggestions for future agendas? I also want to schedule a working group sync up. So bring the working group chairs in and basically review the status, progress, where are we going with those, any trouble spots that we need to try to solve. All right, does anyone have anything for today?
Joe, this is Paul. White paper review is the only thing on my agenda, and then I guess one summit up and coming. So far I believe we've got Alad, Dan, and one other from Intel, plus May, plus myself going. Will there be anyone else? Vincat, we were wondering if you were going to be there. We're going to have a table, a small table, and we'll get 5 passes for that show. 6 with my speaking pass.
And I still don't know if I'm going to go to that or not.
Okay.
I mean, it's on the possible list, but I don't know yet.
Got it.
It's local, so I don't have to travel, so I don't have to decide ahead of time, of course.
Right.
All right. So we had, and these are more announcements. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. We have 2 passes remaining, as Paul was mentioning. So if anybody wants to take up those 2 passes, please reach out to me.
And then the last thing we have going is Sridhar at least is going to meet with Codaline at 8 a.m. I suppose anyone else from the TSC who wants to be on that call, Sridhar, just contact Sridhar. He can forward it to him. I will not be able to. I have a hard conflict that takes precedence, so I will not be able to be on that call. But I have extensive knowledge of what how Codaline works, what it is, what it does. And so I already have all the background information.
Okay, good. I'll be on the call.
Yeah, Paul. That's right, Paul Sridhar and Codaline. But if anyone else wants to, they're welcome from the TSC. Just reach out to Paul and Sridhar.
Looks like Alad is on that call. Not responded yet, but
I don't know if Alad will make it, because I believe NVIDIA is mostly out today. All right, anything else from anyone? right, so I guess, how do you guys want to close on all the strategy and reconcile all the strategy things? Do we want a 2-hour working meeting, or, which may not run 2 hours, but 2 hours would be safe to go through all of the things that have been presented recently, and we open it up to basically this meeting invite list and say, the goal here is to actually, joint, discuss and review, edit the strategy and make here's the, OPI TSC approach. Here's what we want to do. And again, we wouldn't record that. The whole purpose is to generate the outline for the strategy.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, yes, likewise. I'd be happy to join.
Okay. What times work well for people in general? I mean, all times are bad. And I know to stay away from Friday mornings, which really leaves us 4 mornings. Do Monday mornings work fairly well for people?
So for myself, the morning, your time, assuming you're in California,
Yeah.
is good, and I can make myself available any morning.
Okay. So if we, all right, so why don't we pick a time?
Is it Tuesday morning? Shoot, those are both difficult for me.
Yeah, Tuesday mornings get to be difficult.
And
What if we did 7 to 9 Pacific on Monday the 8th?
Don't.
so I misspoke, because ordinarily that would be fine, but actually I plan to take vacation that day.
Ah, okay.
I'll be at Intel Vision that day. We're traveling to
What
attend.
about April Fool's Day? Monday the 1st, 7 to 9 again.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm out that I get back on the 5th, April 5th. And then April 8th is I have customer meetings. But what about April 9th? Or
Okay, let's look at that.
yeah.
I'm sorry, my vacation extends to the 9th.
Okay, so what about the 10th? Yeah.
10th is fine. I'm back.
7 to 9 on the 10th works for me.
Yeah.
7 to 9, so that's in Eastern time. That's
10
10.
10 to 10 to noon.
Okay, hang on. I will just.
Yeah, that day doesn't work for me at all, Joe. It's just like you said, it's one of these impossible things to schedule.
How about the 11th?
Okay, that day doesn't work at all for you.
How about Thursday the 4th, which is a regular meeting day? Simon's out that. Or someone's out.
Thursday the 4th
Yep.
is fine for me.
Yeah, but I'm out. It's damn.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's Dan who's out that day.
5th, but we just said. Well, I mean, I wonder if Friday morning, because normally it's blocked out. Could we do April 5th in the morning?
Yeah.
7 to 9 April 5th. I can make that work.
Yep.
I'm good with that too.
That works for me.
That's fine for me too. I can rearrange around that.
Oh wow, that's impressive actually. I mean, I have to move one thing and,
Yeah, but I can move it.
but otherwise, yeah, wait, let me just check one thing, because there's something that's hidden because of my triple booking. Nope, I don't care about that one. Okay, yeah, I'm good. All right, who can schedule that? Sridhar, can you schedule that for us? Can you send
Sure,
a-
sure.
so schedule a meeting and send it to um yeah, schedule a meeting for 7 to 9 on Friday the 5th. You do a non-recorded Zoom and label it OPI TSC strategy working meeting.
Okay.
And you can send it to the TSC list.
79 Pacific, right?
Yes.
7 to 9 Pacific on Friday, April 5th.
Okay.
And you can send it to the TSC list and post it on our normal calendar so everyone can get to it. And everyone on call put a placeholder in right now if you want to attend. And again, everyone from the TSC, actually everyone from OPI is welcome in principle, but again, we want the people who are interested in consolidating and laying out the strategy. And we'll be, much less formal, and we'll basically assign someone to type, and we'll get a PowerPoint and start pulling slides in and thoughts in from all of the decks and all of the write-ups, produce an outline, and then figure out where we need to flesh out and amplify. This is otherwise we're good. I mean, again, we have to do this, and we may as well do it all as one group rather than having people run off in pairs and triplets to try to flesh out some piece and whatnot. This will give us the base from which to work. All right, good. Well, all right. Anything else? Anything else at all?
Oh, one thing about the white paper, I added a section on IPDK at the end of
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So so take a look. I try to keep it short because it feels like the white paper has a ton of stuff on where we've made a bunch of progress, like in life cycle and provisioning, and the other sections are are much shorter. So I try not to make it too long, but yeah, I put it at the end.
Thanks.
Regarding the white paper, I wrote this to Paul, and to me, this is not a white paper. I mean, a white paper for me is something that you say, here's something that we've tested, here's the performance, here's how we're going to take it forward from here. And the paper that I saw reads more like an ad for OPI. And I think that a lot of the target customers already know a little bit about what the DPU IPU is and why it makes sense. I would really want us to release something which is much more about, again, focusing on what we've done, what we're going to do, and partnerships to see our progress. I mean, IPDK is nice, but it's another layer of, hey, look at what we already know and what we've already talked about. We need to talk about what are we doing together with other companies? What are we doing to promote this agenda, and what are the next steps? Otherwise, I think it will fall on deaf ears.
So Paul,
Yeah, I'm my
outreach, let me set it up. The outreach
Okay.
committee must have had discussions on this and
yes.
decided that this was an appropriate first step for a sequence of white papers presumably getting to what Alad wants.
Yes, it is an ad for OPI. in a lot of cases, it's an ad for what is OPI and why would you want to join OPI is how it will be used. I do think that if we had using OPI provisioning methods, you can save 50% of your time setting these up in large clusters. If we had done that testing, that would be great. I just don't think we have numbers like that yet. I could be wrong. I may
It
just may
doesn't
not
it
have seen
doesn't
it.
have to be that number of what can you say? But even if you put your F5 hat for a moment, I'm pretty sure you can tell us what the experience is like using it when testing Nginx, when testing all the stuff that you're already working on, and you can tell us that, hey, as a partner, as an ISV that is already using this, what has been our experience? And again, I think that an ad for OPI is nice, but anybody that I speak to already heard the story. So I could, if I send this out to, let's say, 100% of the people that I can send it to, 80-90% have already heard the full story, and the remaining have heard some of the story. And
Okay.
I really want to show them something that shows the progress, because the main hesitance is OPI is like any other body, any other group under Linux. It moves slowly and doesn't always come through. And what I want to show them is the opposite. Not only does it come through, it's collaborating with other bodies. It has a body of work to it. We've already got progress. All of that is what I want to show in order to drag people in. Because again, when I talk to, especially telcos, obviously, but not only, the answer is, hey, we've heard about you guys. You've spoken to us about it. What have you done recently? Well, why should we take a look at it now? What's different?
Yeah, I like the idea of a progression. I think we need to start somewhere to sort of baseline where it is, and uh, the content that I put in for IPDK is more of a what have you done lately? I talk about the releases, talk about the current feature set, and try to be crisp about it. But I like the idea of having something where we kind of take that forward as to say, hey, what are the things that we're doing to make OPI, have more vendors, have more users, and the outreach from the outreach committee, that would make sense as another page, so that you have something that for all the customers you're already engaged with, you can show that to them. Maybe this first white paper is for that potentially small set of people who haven't been keeping up with OPI and will just want to know where we're at. I think that should be the goal of this first white paper, is just to give a status of where we are today. What are the features we're chasing? What are the use cases? And then start to talk about how we're trying to build consensus and that ecosystem.
If you want to go after people who've never heard of OPI, never heard of this, fine. I just compared the white paper to messages we've put out as far as a year ago, and it's very, very similar. So it's, again, if we can do, I don't know if it's a second white paper or whatever, but like a roadmap that shows where we're going, what the effort is like, and what the target is, and the progression that we've made.
So
Then
Paul,
I think it's something that I can take to another round.
so Paul, what's outreach committee's view on this?
Outreach committee's view is that Sridhar and I put forward something. We were looking for, like Dan did, people to add to it or modify it. I wouldn't mind a lot if you took a stab at what you're talking about in a section. I think I can do what you're talking about for provisioning, because that's where I have the most experience, is how we've tackled some of the provisioning aspects with the new Ansible workflows and using SCTP, and how that is helping bring all the cards up in a similar manner. But as far as other features and functions that we've delivered, I'm not the guy to write that. And would need some help from someone to actually write those sections. And I have no problem changing what we're doing here with this white paper and the goal and making it that way. I just know that we want to have this produced and done and printed on the tables at One Summit, which is end of April. So we've got a month.
Yeah, and it feels like we need to have this strategy discussion to get to that roadmap. It'd be really great to have that roadmap in place, but it's going to be tough to get there in a month.
I guess my feedback is that if you want to print it out and hand it out, it does seem rather long to me. I would be thinking of a 2-pager, but I think it was substantially longer than that.
Correct, it is. We're at what, 8-9 pages now? Maybe
Something
10.
like that.
Yeah, and I think it's just that one section. I think the provisioning section potentially is just TMI.
Possibly, yes. Yeah, so actually what I was suggesting is perhaps Elad's suggestion would lead to a shorter document, but that's just one idea.
Yeah, I like that.
So what I'm trying to say is that I think the document as it exists, obviously with edits and whatever, it does have a value, but perhaps it doesn't fulfill the problem statement to have something that can be printed out and handed out at the One Summit.
So Paul, what do you want to do as a result of this discussion, if anything? I mean, it's a fair discussion, but
It is a fair discussion.
what is it?
If
Yeah,
we're going
what-
to if we're going to change this document to one, either to make it shorter, or two, to add what Alad is talking about, I need someone to commit to writing that, and then we can review it. That's where we're at.
All right, Alad or anyone else, do you want to take a shot at writing the non-IPDK OPI part of POC and forward-looking technical statement?
I can give it a shot, and I think I've got a solution for the shorter version as well. For each of the groups where we have content, let's put a QR code instead and say, for more information about provisioning, QR code. For more information about, I don't know, API, there's a QR code, which will lead them and direct it to the site.
Okay. And so take the text that we put here to a page on the site that we
Yeah,
can update as
and
needed.
that way you bring them into our site.
Okay. I'm a believer in QR codes. I like putting them in things.
Yeah, I agree. That's a pretty good idea.
All right. Any other points on this one?
And Venkat says he can't come off mute, but he says maybe 2 smaller docs, one an overview and one a going forward plan. He can't come off mute for some reason.
Oh, yeah, excellent. That's meeting things.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So we'll take that. Okay. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Like I said, I'll be scheduling the status discussion with working group, status direction. We'll do the strategy working meeting, and we'll bring that back into the TSC call for agreement, the white paper discussion, and like I say, we have software maintenance, a couple of threads coming, and then there are a couple other topics in the background. All right. Thank you all for your time, and we'll conclude the call.
Thank you very much.